It is one of my favorite times in the indie community, and that is talking about a new collection from Oden's Eye. Oden's Eye is coming out with 2 new palettes, 2 12-pan palettes, and these are being released. Wait, let me pull up the info. Let's start with information. So they're launching on June 18th, and they're going to be $34.90 each for the palettes. I don't know if they're gonna have like a bundle deal or anything like that, but you can use my discount code Angelica over at Oden's Eye and you'll get 10% off your order. I love Oden's Eye palettes. I love the artwork. These are so pretty, and I love when they release smaller palettes like this. These are my favorite type of palettes from Oden's Eye, and I love their 12-pan palettes. I get along with Oden's Eye formula very well. They usually do palettes. There are a good ratio between mattes and shimmers. They have very sparkly shimmers. They usually have like 1 or maybe 2 special shades in a palette to keep the price down a bit. They're one of the indie brands that are not super expensive when it comes to their pricing. They usually have different kinds of formulas when it comes to their shimmer formulas in each palette as well. Gives you a lot of variation, and that's also something that I really appreciate. And these 2 palettes are like 2 sides of a story. There's a light one and there is a dark one. And I will be honest with you, I do have a favorite, and I think as soon as you see, you will know which one is my favorite. So this one is the Luminous Shadows palette, and this one is the more lighter palette. This one has a beautiful orange metallic in here that I will definitely be using. That's why I actually have an orange lip liner on right now. This is a Tender Teak by my own brand, Lunar Beauty, and I want to put on, I have a peach gloss here. I haven't put it on yet, but I'm definitely putting it on. This is a mix between like neutrals, purples, orangey coral, warm tones. I feel like there's a lot of options in here. I do wish there was another dark shade in here, but I'm going to start with this one, and we're going to be able to see how dark we can take it. But still, I think this is a very pretty color story, but it's not my favorite of the 2. My favorite is the Mystic Gleam palette. First of all, look at that. They have this really beautiful, like almost like iridescent, like green. Ugh, super pretty. And then the inside, this is something where I'm like, this is beautiful. Because look at this. Look at this. Oh. This is purples, greens, and some more almost like neutral-ish tones, and then this beautiful pastel, almost periwinkle. It is a pastel blue, but there's a hint of like lavender in there. Bright purple, some greens. I think this one, I mean, out of the 2, this one is my favorite, but I'm also a huge lover of color. That's what I love here on my channel. If you haven't been here before, maybe this is your first video here. Hello, my name is Angie. I am a huge lover of color. I'm a huge lover of indie makeup, and I love doing tutorials, demos, swatches, trying new makeup. Sometimes I do mainstream as well. I do have a couple of things coming in, but mainly my heart does beat for the indie community. So I'm super excited to be trying these out. And I will, like I said, I will start with this one, and I'll do something orange, and then I'll do a second look with this one. I will leave all the information about the launch date, the launch time. I have that as well. I will leave it down below, where you can find it, what was my discount code, and all of those things down in the description box. I'm very excited to jump in. I'm always excited about wearing something super orange. So I'm gonna try and make this a smoky eye with an orange metallic lid. That's the plan. So I'm gonna start with this one. It's called Terracotta. I'm gonna start with that one, and then I'm gonna do Sundown. I think those are the shades I'm gonna try and work with, and Flare. This beautiful orange. I'm so excited. I used a little bit of the Fenty lip tint in Zesty Bestie. I'm gonna use a little bit of my favorite peach gloss Beam from Rare Beauty. I don't know if you can see, I used like a third of this. I really like this one. I think that is stunning. Okay, let me start with Terracotta. Ooh. And let me bring up, for once, it's appropriate for me to have the Oden's Eye mirror. Okay. Oh, this is actually turning up way darker than I anticipated, which is great because, you know, I love heavening. That is not a word, sweetie. I love having a deep outer corner. I'm gonna push this actually a little bit into the crease as well. I'm using an EO2, and I'm gonna push this in. I'll blend this out later. Not in focus. Oh my gosh, it's this mirror. I'm really trying. But I'm gonna blend this. I'm gonna cover up on the lid. I don't care about that, but I want this to be a little bit of a smoky, darker look. And I'm gonna go in with a bigger brush. This is a EO. Is it an 8, right? I'm pretty sure it's an 8. I don't even know the names of my own brushes. This one is a prototype actually. And I am gonna put that on top and just warm this up and make the edge. This is the one that's called Sundown, and I'm, like you see, I'm putting it on and then just blending out the edge with this one, so it becomes like a little warmer and a little bit more diffused. This is definitely, this is the way. Okay, Flare is looking so delicious. I did put the shadows under my eyes too, and I did pull it in a little bit longer than I usually do. I will spray this one because I don't want fallout. So I'm gonna spritz this, and let's see if this works. Does this work? Ooh, yes. This is very smooth. Oh, is this a multi-chrome? I should have swatched this palette before I started using it, but clearly I didn't. Wait, is this a multi-chrome? Should I have swatched this? Maybe, because you see that. That's, maybe you don't, but there is definitely a green yellow flip to that. So this is like a peach going to orange, going to yellow, going to green, which has an orange base, and baby, that is stunning. So I'm gonna blend this a little bit into the mattes, because that's how I love doing a smoky eye, is to have like a smooth transition into between the mattes and the shimmers. And I'm gonna use a little bit more of Terracotta, which is the dark shade, and just blend them together here. Ooh. I really hope you can see the shift. Oh, you can. I had no idea. But that's stunning. Okay, now that I have seen that this is a multi-chrome, I think I'm gonna keep my inner corner with light. So I'm gonna use Soft Dawn, which is like a light peachy beige. And I am gonna put that one in my inner corners. Oh my god, did I get fallout? I am such a klutz. Klutz, klutz, klutz. Okay, it turned out pretty good. Okay, peachy beige, just around. I'm not gonna do something super blown out. A lot of times I will do a matte inner corner and I will really like blow it out. This time I'm just gonna keep it easy breezy and keep it moving. Okay, I'm gonna put on a lash and I think I'm gonna be done. I think I'm gonna use, what do I have in front of me? I do have the Whimsy Goth. This is my own brand, Cinch Beauty. I mean, this color story is perfect for these. So I think I'm gonna put on the Whimsy Goth, and I'm also gonna go and see, because Oden does have colored eye pencils and they have an orange. So I'm gonna find that one and put in my waterline. Okay, so that is the first look, and I gotta say, this is not what I expected. And I mean that in a good way, because like, I love, okay, let me rephrase. I don't know necessarily if I would be a better reviewer if I swatch things before I go into them, but most of the time I don't, because I like going in blind and not having my mind made up, because I know we're in a phase right now in the beauty community where people judge a lot of things based on swatches, but at the end of the day, most of us don't buy makeup to swatch it, we buy it to wear it. And how it swatches isn't always how it wears, and the quality of the swatch isn't always the quality of how it's gonna be on the eyes. So I didn't know that this was a multi-chrome. I do know that basically, I think every Oden's Eye palette has at least one multichrome, but not swatching it, I wasn't fully aware which one was the multichrome, and had I looked at this in different lightings, I would have realized that it's this one because it has such a clear green shift to it. But I also love being like having a positive surprise, going in using something like I said, oh, this is darker than I expected on the skin, or oh, this is a multichrome, this is smoother and even better than I thought looking at it in the pan. And I love having a positive experience like that. And that is also why I never give you the final review in a first impression like this. I can only tell you if I think that the quality is similar to what the brand usually does, or if it differs a bit, and then I always come back and give you more of a final verdict in a future video. I know I haven't done a lot of those this year because I have, if you didn't know, I made a big move. I moved back from the US to Europe, and it really messed up with a lot of, like, you know, everything. I still don't have any. The furniture you see in the back is basically the furniture we have right now. So I haven't really done any of those, but I'm thinking about doing a ranking all the palettes of 2026 so far. So of course I'm gonna have to use these a bit more and see, but so far I think the quality of this is what I know and expect from Oden's Eye. I think this multichrome is one of the better multichrome formulas they've had. It is that super finely milled smooth, not smushy, oily, or emollient, not flaky or textured or, like, you know, falling apart. This is a very smooth, very finely milled, high impact without being greasy multichrome, high quality multichrome. Looks incredible. I'm gonna go and live my best life in this makeup look, and you're gonna see look number 2 right now. We're gonna go into the Mystic Gleam palette, and I kind of want to use as many shades as possible. I did something simpler in the first look, and now I want to do something using quite a lot of these shades. I'm going to start with this dark blue here, and then I'm going to use the purple and the light blue in my outer corner. That's how I'm going to start. This is, I was going to say a plan. Is there a plan? There's a semblance of a plan. So I'm going to start with the dark color out here. And I'm not going to do too much, I say that now, but I'm going to keep it sparingly in just the outer V. And I'm going to go in with the purple, which is called Midnight Sorcery. And I am using very little, but I want to put that almost on top and on the edge. I just want to make sure that this darkness is seen as purple and not anything else. We're doing a purple outer corner. And now I'm going to do Eternal Void, which is the pastel. And I am going to be blending that one on the edge. I'm going in back with the purple just to make sure that these are blended. Okay, so I kind of want to use the green, I kind of want to use the blue, I kind of want to use the green shimmers. It's not easy. So I think I'm going to do, oh my god, it's hard to read because the text is holographic too. It's called Haunted Forest G, which is the green matte. And I think I'm going to put that here. Like I said, I'm going to be using a lot of shades. Next to the other matte, I might cover this part in shimmer, but I want to make sure we have this as a foundation. Oh, sorry. And a little bit in the crease here. I'm putting a little bit more on. I don't care if this is like on the lid how it looks, because I will be covering that with shimmers. I'm blending this up a bit, and I will be putting the Eternal Void, the pastel, I will be putting that in the inner corner, and I also think I will be blending a little bit on the edge to have these merge here. And then we have Shadow Stone, which is the more whitish shade. And oh, I will be using that to brighten up even more. I'm just trying to think about like placement a little bit. So this is the light green. It's called Grim Shadow. I'm going to spritz that a lot because I am going to be putting that on the inner part of the lid. Oh, can you see? Like over here. And I'm going to be buffing it into the light pastel a bit. That's what I meant with I'm going to be covering some of the green. I just wanted it as a foundation. And then I'm taking a little bit of Poison. It's called Poison Ivy. Ooh. And it's the darker green. I'm going to spritz that too. And I'm going to be using that on the border. And then I'm using more of the darkest shade. And I'm just going to be blending on the edge. Okay, so I did a little bit of a ombre liner, and right now I'm using a little, this is the E12, it's an eyeliner brush, and I used a little bit of the green shadow and I put it above the liner to get it to be like the same color. And now I'm doing the same with the pastel blue. I'm basically like, I'm putting it on the liner to get it to like really match. I hope you can see. And this makes the liner match even more. I'm gonna do the same with the purple too. And it just sets the liner down and makes it the correct color. So now I have the ombre liner too, going from the pastel blue to the grass green to the purple. I think the look is gorgeous. I'm really, really loving it. That's really fun. I'm gonna put on the Office Siren lashes from my own brand, Singe Beauty. I have them somewhere. I used them yesterday. Let me put those on and let me do something about this, and we'll chat about this release. Okay, that is the finished look. What do you think? I mean, I really love it. I love a dramatic look. I love the green with the blue. I think it's really fun. I'm loving the ombre waterline with this as well. I definitely suggest, if you've never tried, even with a neutral look, an ombre waterline can really just enhance the look and just, you know, take it the last, what do you say, the last stretch? I have no idea. Me trying to make up things as I go. So these are the palettes. As I already predicted, my favorite is the more like green blue. These are my colors. I love dramatic looks. I'm also really enjoying that there is like a mucky, like swampy green in here. You know, I love something like that. I honestly think that like these three shades together would make an amazing look. Just using these three, which honestly, I'm like, oof, maybe I should have done that. Making something more, that would be an easy look with the palette. But also, I was like impressed with this palette. It was more fun than I thought it was gonna be. And I'm really enjoying that there are some like purples and some more reddish like burgundy tones in here. I love that there's a coral pink and a lavender in here. It makes you be able to take it in different directions if you want to. Overall, I really do enjoy Oden's Eye, and I really enjoy that there are a few indie brands out there that are producing makeup that is not as expensive. And even though I know that it's always super fun to play with those super intense multichromes, and I love that too, it is nice to have options out there, and it is nice to see that even though the indie community has come as far as it has. I mean, I started my YouTube channel reviewing indie makeup, and here I am 11 years later still reviewing indie makeup. It's nice to see that it hasn't all just gone in the same direction. We're seeing different kinds of indie makeup at different price ranges for different like flavors. There are neutral and colorful and expensive and affordable, and there are different price ranges and different preferences, and I love that because I would hate if it was all the same. Let me know what you think about this release, and I will put all the details in the description box together with my code, launch date, launch time, all of that jazz. I do have a playlist with Oden's Eye. I believe that in the description box as well, if you want to take a peek at what I think of some of the other things that they have released as well. I actually looked into their website the other day, and I should have used that today, and I was reminded, I'm like, oh, they have certain beautiful like blushes and highlighters, and I was like, oh, it was a long time since I used that. When I have my beauty room in order, which I don't, I mean, I'm sure it looks like I have my beauty room in order, but the only thing that is in order, it's what's in frame behind me. But when I do, maybe I could do like a shop my stash, like makeup I love that I kind of forgot about, because I would really love to use those again on camera, because those are beautiful. Okay, give me some thoughts down below, and I will see you in my next video, which is probably also going to be indie makeup.